Also, we can get now the best possible insight into Ericsson's results and the outlook for the company going forward. The president and CEO of Ericsson, Hans Vestberg, joins me live now from Stockholm. Thank you very much indeed for speaking to us, Mr. Vestberg. Good to have you on the show. So I suppose the results today not quite strong enough to benefit the stock. We can see it's really been trading lower throughout the session so far, down by more than 9% right now.
I think when I look at the quarter, I think that we continue to see a very good demand for mobile broadband. We grew 27% in currency adjusted numbers, which I think is a very strong message. At the same time, our profitability went up. So I think that we are doing a lot of activities at the same time. We have more regions growing than we've had before. I mean, historically, over the last 4 quarters, we've had North America being the only region growing. Right now, we have almost 7 regions growing. So we definitely are spreading out and being much stronger in more of the 180 markets where we're present.
Interesting note from Goldman Sachs we had on these results saying that they suggested gross margins are actually peaking for Ericsson. Is that the case? Are they in fact peaking?
I think that we have been working with efficiency all the time in order to improve profitability, and we are yet this quarter increasing our net income with almost 60%. So we are improving that all the time. One thing that is a little bit different is that the previous years we have been excluding restructuring in our reported numbers. Now we're including all the restructuring in the numbers. So it's a little bit hard to compare maybe, but we are definitely doing improvements, and we are committed to continue to work on profitability. That's one of the main targets for the company, together with growing faster than the market.
So gross margins are peaking?
I think that what we have seen in the first half year is, of course, a mix where we have a lot of expansions of projects and a little bit less of services. When we're going to go forward, we're probably going to see a little bit mix shift. For us, that means that we just continue to work hard with our cost, and that's why we're taking out costs. So we are still committed to continue to improve. I mean, I'm not guiding for a certain quarter going forward, but the only thing I commit to, we are very focused to have the best margins in the industry, which we have, and we will continue to work on them.
Yeah, and we also had costs related to job cuts, lower services growth. That was a bit of a drag on the earnings. I mean, is that something to be concerned about going forward as well?
I think that job cuts is done in order to get the lower cost base. So I think that that should probably not be our main concern. That is just showing that management has a very stringent financial control of the company, and that we will continue to have. And we have 97,000 employees in 180 countries. We will always have up and downs on recruitment and reduction, so that's nothing strange for management. On the service side, I can say that we have a very good underlying growth where we see a lot of new signs. We signed 24 new managed services deals in the quarter. We also added 11 big or large system integration deals. So we see definitely that the demand for our services is very good.
Yeah, and I'm curious about that. You know, talk to me a little bit about demand for mobile broadband infrastructure and what you're seeing in this space right now. You know, given the explosion in smartphones and tablet computers, are you struggling to meet network capacity for more and more data?
If you look into the network segment that we have, we grew 31% in the quarter, and that was before any currency adjustments. And this quarter we had a very big impact of the currency due to the strong Swedish krona. So that means that yes, we see definitely the mobile broadband is a very important driver, but it's also the IP-related routers and all around that is driving as well. I think it's a little bit different from market to market. This quarter we saw Korea, we saw Brazil, we saw China growing, we saw Russia coming well in as well. So it's a little bit different. Right now those markets are the ones growing a little bit faster. India grew more than 100% in this quarter compared to last year.
Okay, so then how do you expect growth in broadband infrastructure, mobile network infrastructure in those emerging markets like Brazil, like India, the countries that you mentioned? How do you expect that to compare to infrastructure in a lot of Western countries where, of course, you know, infrastructure here needs modernizing, needs updating as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, in Europe we see a lot of modernization on the networks ongoing at the moment in order to get the latest technologies, and there's nothing strange. Europe was first out on mobile networks, so they are the ones also modernizing their first. We're going to see different markets. The thing that we have looked into is, of course, how do we see the spending on infrastructure the years to come, and we believe it's going to be 3 to 5%. But inside there, mobile broadband and mobile infrastructure have a higher growth the next 3 to 5 years. And our aim is, of course, to grow faster than that as a leader in mobile infrastructure worldwide and actually being number one.
I mean, are we going to have to learn to some extent to live with slower connections when we make phone calls, when we make internet? Because I'm just thinking about where we are with infrastructure right now, and I know that, in the States they've started upgrading from 3G to 4G, but I'm wondering about the difficulty for someone like yourself to balance the need for new projects to advance existing equipment for long-term profitability with also the need to sort of update the equipment that's already in place. Is that difficult?
No, I think that's part of what we're doing. We are spending €3 billion a year in research and development to have the latest technology. We have 27,000 patents in the telecom space. I mean, this is what we're doing for living. I mean, developing both ongoing technologies, but also future technologies. At the same time, right now, we're working on 2G, 3G, 4G, and different standards there within. And that's our job, because there are different paces in different regions on frequencies, as well as different technologies. But the only thing we can conclude is that telecommunication and mobility is growing in importance for the society and for people.
And can I just get a quick, 10-second answer from you? You said different regions are moving at different paces. Which region would you say is the most advanced when it comes to this right now?
I think we see parts of Asia are very advanced, and of course North America as well very advanced due to the applications and apps and all the devices coming out in these markets.
Okay, really good to talk to you. Hans Vestberg, President, CEO of Ericsson. Appreciate you taking the time. Thank you very much.